Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live talking some UFC 330. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's up, dog?
Bro, I just flew in today. Flight was delayed. I get home, I hop in the shower, I eat some grub, and I'm on Moneyline, baby. Let's get back to work, AJ.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. The dedication is absolutely savage. I know you had a good weekend commentating some fist fights over there at XFO, and I know you had a good time betting down and winning at some UFC Vegas 120, man. That was fantastic work from you, Finch. Tell the people what happened this week.
New record for most confident picks. My record was 20 straight most confident picks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 24 straight most confident picks. The sunglasses will be on the show right after this because we just keep on trucking on, AJ. It was a great weekend for betting. Again, we've been on fire in Premium Channel. The fire is just continuing to expand, brother. We're very, very happy. What is that? 7 straight parlays. Lock of the night. Of course, our boy, Quillin Salkilled gets it done. It was an amazing night for betting.
Amazing shit from you, Finch, man. The 24 in a row is amazing. Simple as that. This week, you got the chance to become the Habib of most confident picks in this game. We got Islam Makhachev in the main event.
Yes, brother.
Team Habib. Finchman will be on his Habib. He might get a 29-0 tattoo after this weekend if he hits all 5. Let's go.
Yes, brother. We go for 29-0, brother. Yeah, dude. I would like that. I would like that. We're pushing it to new limits. AJ made most confident picks literally after one of these money lines. He's like, you should do like a show like where you give your most confident picks. You can just call it most confident picks. That's where it came from. So thank you, AJ. It's my favorite show.
Let's go, my boy. Icky Zay, thank you for the 199 7-week win streak. Moneyline, Ochoa, Mitterbeck, Ribovics, man, sir. Hey, man, we're going to get to all those picks soon. Respect on you locking some chalky lockies up. Good luck, bro. I'm really hyped for 330. I definitely think I got some solid picks coming in. And Finch, man, I'm excited to hear what you got to say about UFC 330. But before we talk this weekend's event, we got to talk about what went down last weekend. Obviously, we already, danced around savage mode in it with Quillin Salkilled taking home a lopsided win, an ass whooping on Mateusz Gamrot. Did it better than Charles Oliveira did. I think Quillin Salkilled is officially amongst the elites, or at least a fight to prove that he's in it up next, because he made it look easy against Mateusz Gamrot, a guy at one point who was advertised as, one of the best wrestlers, period, in the UFC, and maybe an eventual Islam Makhachev opponent. I remember when Habib had posted a picture of them on that press conference stage years ago. They'll eventually fight each other. And I'll be damned. Quillin Salkilled shut that down with ease. It was a lopsided win. It was skills shown in all areas, out-striking Gamrot, out-grappling Gamrot, and rear naked strangling Gamrot. Finch, man, what'd you make of the great performance?
I predict these things. Yeah. The narrative that Mateusz Gamrot would, for lack of a better term, RAPE. Can I say that on YouTube? Is that not good? Control against his will. Quillin Salkilled it's just not true. It wasn't true. It isn't true. Quillin Salkilled is slick on the ground. Quillin Salkilled does not get held down. I even was looking at his fights before the UFC. Oh, I'm trying to remember the one where he got taken down. He was in full guard. He takes the guy's back, strangles him in the second round. Ooh, I might have to tapology it to get the name. But Quillin Salkilled has been nasty at jiu-jitsu. He is a jiu-jitsu black belt. It's nothing to laugh at. It's real. Mateusz Gamrot just got submitted by Charles Oliveira. And you know what? Quillin Salkilled did it quicker. Now, Mateusz Gamrot was going for leg locks, which was wild. But Mateusz Gamrot got rocked on the feet. What do you expect him to do? He has to try to go for it with the grappling because he's going to get smoked by Quillen Salkeld. He went right into the jaws of the beast. To be honest, I did just play the lock of the week, Quillen Salkeld, money line. It was minus 135. It was perfectly reasonable to tag because the knockout was too live. And you saw why. I mean, he did the chicken dance right away. But I think the big thing that people were overlooking was the grappling of Quillen Salkeld. Yes, folks, believe it or not, it is superior to Mateusz Gamrot.
Quillen Salkeld gets the signature win. And now it's time to talk where he's going from here. The fight that kind of just feels obvious to me is Benoit Saint-Denis. I think Benoit is in a position where he's probably fighting somebody behind him in the rankings. Salkeld's coming off this massive win. And I also feel like of the top 6, the most flawed of the bunch, Benoit Saint-Denis, I think Salkeld Saint-Denis is actually really live to happen because I was looking at the division and I was thinking to myself, I don't feel like they'll run Salkeld Max Holloway. I don't think Salkeld's name is there just yet. I don't think they run Paddy Salkeld just yet. Maybe eventually. I don't think he's getting a Charlie O fight, as cool as that could be. I felt like, Benoit Saint-Denis coming off of a loss against Paddy Pimblett and then getting another guy on the rise in Salkeld kind of makes perfect sense. What do you think about that fight if it happens?
That sounds like a death sentence for Benoit Saint-Denis. I think Salkeld is very good, brother. I've been on Salkeld, and I think Salkeld is going to challenge for this title. I heard somebody say Ilya Topuria versus Salkeld. Bro, that would be fireworks, dude. That'd be like the 4th of July. That would be crazy. It'd be 2 unstoppable forces just meeting in the center. Yeah, Quillen Salkeld's very good. Benoit Saint-Denis makes sense, but I feel like after Benoit just got choked unconscious, maybe he has one fight before he fights at this level. Quillen Salkeld's ready for the top 5, and there's got to be, I don't have the rankings in front of me, which I should when I talk to you, of course I should, but maybe it's a Max Holloway. Maybe it's a big fight.
Listen, I'm not opposed to him getting that jump. I definitely think the tool set that he brings to the table is absolute top 5 ready. I mean, I can envision him giving Paddy Pimblett all sorts of trouble. I can envision him giving Max Holloway big problems on the ground. I really am starting to think, wow, Quillen Salkeld is as good, if not better, than initially advertised.
Yeah. Like, dude, he is that good. I believe he will challenge for the belt next year. I do.
I love it. Rhett Robbins, he's saying, AJ, you coming with Contender Series picks? I'm actually offended seeing that. Earlier today, I released a video. Full Contender Series post-weigh-in predictions. They're up on the channel. They've been up on the channel for hours now. The fact that you asked me here and you hadn't looked, Rhett, I'm actually genuinely upset, man. I'm genuinely upset that maybe the YouTube algorithm didn't remind you, hey, man, go watch AJ's Contender Series. Yes, Contender Series picks are already up. I did them in the afternoon. I watched the weigh-ins, and then I did the weigh-in show right after. Definitely be sure to check them out. I'll put them in the description at the end of the stream, and you guys can watch them after you check out Mike Finch's most confident picks. All right?
Boom. AJ works his ass off. Do you realize I'm putting in I was working commentary this weekend. I'm putting all this work on UFC 330. I just want the premium channel streak to keep going. I want the most confident picks to keep going. I want Moneyline to hit. And then I'm like, how do I have time to break down Contender Series fights? Well, AJ does. AJ puts in that work for you guys. Respect where respect is due. I did pull up the lightweight rankings, AJ. You know the fight I want to fucking see? Quillen Salkeld versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Sign me up.
That's a good fight. I'm very interested in the UFC putting that together. Absolutely down with it. We'll see what the UFC's direction is, but definitely they got a star in their hands with Salkeld, who can run it against pretty much everybody. And I'm looking forward to witnessing what's next for the rising phenom. And Australia, they got themselves a real talent. So I look forward to it. I do want to quick shot it with the rest of the card. I think this was really the focus, and just real quick touches. Billy Q, Ferreira did his thing, outstruck him. Q fought hard at the end, but he was a step behind the whole fight, and he was getting hit a bunch in the face.
EMG on topic. Happy Monday always with the GOATs. Love every MF and Savage here. AJ just cheers to you, brother. There we go. We catching a bag this weekend. would have been rich if Billy Q didn't use his face to defend punches. UFC 330, let's effing go. He actually got the would have right. I really appreciate that because I constantly see people say would of, and it's actually an abbreviation for would have. So EMG with the grammar points, bro. I love it, and I love the $10. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Billy Q. When I downloaded this thing, brother, you know, I was working Saturday. So I was working the XFO event. I didn't see any of the fights live. When I'm watching this thing, I watched the first round clearly. And then the download that I had from Paramount, I don't know if it's Paramount's fault. I don't know if it's my fault, got sketchy in that second round. So I haven't even watched the whole thing through. It's hard for me to comment on it. I would say that Billy Q put a couple shots on him from what I saw, but was too easily hit and just was kind of trying to hide out behind his shoulder, wing some shots. And looked like he hadn't fought in a year. And my thought here was maybe Diego Ferreira being 41 wouldn't have that chin. I saw him get punched in the face and he ate it like a sandwich.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Sherm from Jackson. Oh, sorry, Finch. You did the click on Kyle
we
first.
both did.
No, you're good. You're good. Kyle Donker Sloot, thank you for $19.99. Appreciate all the amazing daily content, AJ and Finch. Hey, thank you, bro. Just want to give a shout out to my dad. Today would have been his 49th birthday. Hey, happy heavenly birthday to him, man. And I hope that you're having a beautiful day. And you know what? Maybe the good aura around his birth week leading into a banging card gives us a savage event and hopefully some W bets for you, my boy.
Happy birthday to your dad, Kyle. Thank you so much for the $20, man. Appreciate you watching. Sherm, I didn't mean to jump over you. Billy Q haunting people. Bro, Billy Q fucked up a streak I had for free channel. We hit 6 straight free channel plays, and then Billy Q comes in. It was plus 160. I mean, how is anybody going to complain when they don't pay any money? They see the bets, and they hit 6 weeks straight. Like, all right, Billy Q could come in and fuck it up. But I mean, I think actually Vegas had the odds right. Like it wasn't that one-sided, but yeah, Billy Q's are about a plus 160 when you look at him against Diego.
Yeah. Agreed. You want to get this next dono up in here, Finch? We got another one. And you click it.
Just so we don't go back and forth.
No, yeah.
Sean exclusive 1999, right before the turn of the century, taking Makhachev, Ochoa, Abdul-Malik, and Ribovics. Thanks for trying to make a killing this year, and UFC is helping do that. Thank you for your assistance, sir. It's getting easier week by week, just taking faves, making it work. Careful, just taking faves, making it work. But Sean, I'm glad you're making money, bro. Let's go.
Hey, W, Shawnee boy. Hey, we got another one, Finch, man. They're coming in fast. Bro.
I got it. Red Robin's in the house. Appreciate the grind, boys, with Finch straight off the jet. Bro, I wish it was a jet. I wish they put me on some Floyd Mayweather shit where I was up there in luxury. I love the XFO. But the plane ticket I got, bro, last seat on the shitter, literally row 33. I'm all the way in the back. They had your boy up against the window. All right. Thank God the guy who sat next to me wasn't fat. Thank God. Even jacked like AJ would piss me off. No, this guy was a skinny guy. Thank goodness, bro. But I had to let him have the armrest, you know, so I had to do my thing over here. The seats don't recline in the back. So I was like kind of a sweaty mess. I had like a little headache when I got off that plane. But you know what? Took a shower and we're ready to rock here. Ready for Contender Series, clean sweep, AJ. Let's go, AJ. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Red, I was just giving you a hard time earlier also, man. Thank you for the $9.99.
Boom.
Hey, let's go, man. I really am just in a rapid fire mood. You know, we think we can run through. We got 3 minutes for the remainder of UFC Vegas 120. Ready for it?
Let's do it.
Elkins got cooked. Del Valle one shot at him. Boom.
I mean, Del Valle's got hands. This was the time to show your hands. Check.
He's got some hands on him. Happy retirement, Darren Elkins. Rough way to go out, but some legendary wars, man.
True. I mean, but you know what? In his 40s, man, he had a decent spot on the card too. Shout out to Darren Elkins. How do you not respect that dude?
Hey, easy money, Montana. I actually pick flipped after the weigh-ins. I said, bro, I'm going Montana. Cooked him with it like a joke.
You said on the show, you're like, if he's like a Brazilian experiment, I guess I'll flip. All right, you were impressed.
I was like, this guy looks scary. I'm like, I'm not picking Louis Sutherland. And sure enough, takedown sub. Fight was pretty fucking straightforward. Montana looked pretty good.
I can't pick Sutherland against the guy who's got a jiu-jitsu game and is kind of big and athletic. Like Sutherland's not that good. Yeah, Montana with the nice sub.
Hey, listen, Miller, Golf, it was a beatdown city. Miller tuned them up for a majority of the fight. I actually thought the corner should have stopped the fight after round number 2 because Golf was cooked.
Yeah, he was rocked going back to his corner after that second round. They had to bring that guy back to life. There was nothing he could do, brother. He even had his hands clasped underneath the hips of Ty Miller. Ty Miller just, boom, popped that up. He needed to start wrestling that single leg. Why are you only attacking the double, Goff? You got to go to that single leg, pull that knee up high. He wasn't doing any of that chain wrestling, and he was getting eaten alive by those 1-2s. My goodness, Miller could just throw straight down the pipe and hit him. Miller just beat him with the basics. He keeps doing it. The kid's impressive.
Asplund, your boy, taking out Guillermo Pat in a back.
I haven't seen
battle.
it. How was it?
It was a close fight. Asplund won. He got hit a bit in
tonight.
round 2, but he had a great round 1 and he finished the fight strong. I think you'll probably have
I was
similar,
saving it.
Yeah,
it was one of those that wouldn't play.
You'll get similar thoughts after. I think you'll be like, you know, he hits hard, he can land clean, but the feet are a little bit on the slower side. And you know, he got touched up a bit. It was hard for him, man. But it was still dog tough pressure into the win. He pulled it off. Not easy though.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see it, man. I saw a shot of him getting punched in the face by Pat. I don't know how crazy of a fight it was. We'll see. Maybe he'll earn my respect. People are probably waiting to hear me because I dunk on Asplund. I've been calling him titties and shit. People are mad at me. So I better, I'll give it a good watch first.
Let's go. Hey, YouTube Addict, thank you for the $20, man. The Finch 5 and AJ's lock of the week came through again. Here's a small thanks for the savage picks. Bet Mo, win Mo. Hey, Asian uncle voice is crazy. Thank you, YouTube Addict, for the 20, man. Mo. That's funny as shit. That's great. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
And then we had Nurgajai with the quick finish, round number 1. I had him by finish as my lock, bro. And I was eternally grateful that he put it together, got his first stoppage in the UFC, putting Bruno Lopez away and showing, you know, good kicks per usual, nice hands. And Lopez, the chin still in question, knocked out in round 1.
I am saving titties for the late night watch, but not like you think, Rhett. Not like that. Not like that. Another one I got to watch, brother.
And then Dayanara, this was actually on the main card. Lemos, you see this one?
Yep. Oh, yeah. I should have seen everything else at this point. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Alexia Dayanara. She got rocked. What was it? The third round? Pretty good. Besides that, she did her thing, man. Wasn't really able to dominate on the ground. Wasn't getting those takedowns on the fence, but she could just push you into the fence and work. She got busted up a little bit. I like that they got in a little bit of a fight, but Alexia Dayanara very clearly. And it was just really one shot. That was the story of the fight for Amanda Lemos. Alexia Dayanara still was able to bully her despite not being able to get to the top position as reliably as I'm sure she would want to.
Manuel Sosa.
That was the parlay, by the way. Ty Miller, Alexia Dayanara, easy money.
Good shit. I actually pick flipped on this one too. I saw the face off. It said, I can't trust Miranda here. And listen, Miranda was game and tough, but Sosa, powerful, strong with the striking. Got a hard fought decision win. I definitely have that doubt about Sosa. It didn't go away. Like somebody is eventually going to beat this athletic freak. It's just Miranda was not the guy for the job.
Shout out to Miranda for having the durability to stay in there. He was boxing with him better than I thought. Yeah, Sosa's got a lot of power in his hands. Wasn't really able to find the right shots in this fight. Sosa's still a great prospect, though. I just think Miranda, training with the team he does, he sees hand speed all the time. I think that prepared him for a freak athlete in Sosa pretty well. He didn't look bad in this fight.
Nearly Jolly, thank you for 3 months of membership, man. How many in a row, Finch? The money keeps on printing.
24 in a row, dog. Hold up. Wait. 24 in a row, homie. Let's go. Most confident picks live right after this. Come see your boy.
Let's go. Finch, man, on his Habib arc. And we saw Juliana Miller with the easy sub of Ravenna Oliveira. That was, you know, her keeping her UFC career alive and looking nasty on the mat for sure.
She was fired up, bro.
She was pissed.
She was out there fired up. She was whooping Oliveira's ass. Damn, she really pissed off tonight. That was cool to see, bro. I felt like she was just more physical this time. She was ready to rough this girl up. When she was getting to the wrestling, it was like she had an edge to her. That was cool to see because we've seen Miller be a little bit lackadaisical. She was anything but, man. She bullied Oliveira. And you could see the emotion after the fight. The doctor, the lady was trying to talk to her. She's walking around screaming after trying to shake Oliveira's hand, by the way. Such a kind lady. I was impressed, actually.
Same. Tom Tanaka, sorry for missing it 15 minutes ago, bro. Thank you for 17 months of membership. I did great last call, was #1 in the Tapology group. I have to flex little onto the next 17 months. Tom, you're a gangster. I'm sorry for missing it, bro. Holy shit, I feel bad. Thank you for 17 months and congrats on being #1 in the Tapology gang. If you want to join that Tapology group, become a member. The link is in the community tab. I probably will get an updated link from you guys. I'll have one of the mods send me one so I can post one this week. Get up in there and compete with the fucking crew. Tom Tanaka right now is the champ, and he's looking for champ status this weekend. W, bro. Armin Gregorian, thank you for $4.99. We also need one most confident on Contender Series 2, so you make it 30-0.
Bro, I know. How dare Islam Dulatov pull out and mess it up? This is how I feel, bro. When I bet, when I give out picks, I am never gonna bullshit you guys. I have to do my homework. AJ, he does tape studies on all these local fighters, these regional fighters, and he comes in guns a-blazing. As long as I do that, then I'm down. But the weekend I had, bro, calling all these fights, flying around the country, I focused in, I dialed in for UFC 330 because that's what you guys deserve. When I'm able to do that for Dana White's Contender Series, that's when I'm going to give you guys the most confident. I will never bullshit you guys. Thank you, Armin.
W.
So watch AJ's show if you want to check out Contender Series.
Let's go. W Finch. Real quick, first fight of the night was Canuto and Foro. It was a late notice fight, banger. The ladies went after it. Canuto showed the dog grit and, improved cardio. Almost got the armbar at the end, but Foro took it home.
That was a good fight. That was a cool fight. They were going toe-to-toe. There were some solid exchanges. You could really see the striking difference start to open up as the fight went on, because a lot of those exchanges in the first round, I saw both ladies getting hit, and then as the fight wore on, you could start to see the striking edge really take shape. And that was another good ladies fight. Who's hating on these ladies fights? I know some of you at home are like, me, okay, all right. Well, were you not entertained there? I certainly was. That was the first fight I watched today, and I thought they scrapped. I was pretty impressed. I think both of those girls are sticking around the UFC.
I definitely think Canuto, young prospect with a lot of upside, and still only 23. Come on.
Michael Bowman, we should send you a memo in the mail. We should actually deliver one to your doorstep like DoorDash. Mr. Bowman, sir, yes, we're changing the live time. Michael Bowman, the absolute staple of Moneyline. Thank you so much for the $50, sir. He's the best.
He is the best. W to Mike Bowman. I'm just trolling somebody in the chat. W Mike Bowman, thank you for the 50.
Yeah, Michael Bowman, you're a gem, and we always appreciate you being here. Hey, we haven't even done the UFC 330 picks yet. You're right on time, sir.
Yeah, listen, you're early, man. Me and Finch starting it off so we can get the recap done and then get to business a little bit earlier than ever before. W to Bowman, we appreciate the hell out of you. UFC Vegas 120, it was a good card at the Apex, and now it's time for the numbered event. UFC 330 coming at us from Philadelphia this weekend. Be sure to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. It's Jeremiah Wells versus Mitabek Orolbai to start things off. And they're starting us off with a bit of a lopsided fight here. Orolbai, the consistent wrestling monster. I mean, last fight nearly broke the takedown record against Chris Curtis, which Finch and I have both talked about. It's not necessarily a good thing. That means that, you're not holding the opponent down for extended periods of time. But he gets, Chris Curtis down a lot. With Jeremiah Wells, I see the wrestling of Orolbai being effective here. Potentially more control time from Orolbai this time out. I'd love to see that. I do think there's a pathway for him to submit the 39-year-old Jeremiah Wells. And I feel like Orolbai, even in striking, is a little bit faster than Wells. Wells a little reckless, throws the wild hooks and whatnot. He's got power, definitely. But I feel like Mitabek Orolbai should win this fight pretty handily. I think it's either like a lopsided decision or maybe Orolbai delivers that finish. He was finishing people prior to his last fight. I mean, he knocked out Jack Hermanson in one shot. He got a quick submission into Tafik Musayev the fight prior. And I think he's live to pull off a submission too against the 39-year-old Jeremiah Wells. Orolbai, definitely the pick. Now, Wells is a Philly guy. He's fighting out of the area, so he's looking to pull off his own version of a Rocky story here against Orolbai. But I don't think that happens. So we're riding with the side of Orolbai, and I think he should handle in all areas.
You can't be getting submitted by Carlston Harris and then make me think that you're going to go 15 minutes with Mittelbeck Orolbai. I just feel like he's going to get out grappled, whether or not he even goes the 15 minutes. I feel like he's going to get bullied here by Mittelbeck Orolbai. Unfortunately, the books do too. This thing just gets wider and wider, bro. I just looked at putting it in a parlay. I'm like, minus 1,000. They're really giving Orolbai some love, but it does kind of make sense. Orolbai should be able to bully him in the wrestling. He might even be able to Kimura him like we just saw him do to Tafik Masayev. And how well is that age, bro? How good did Tafik Masayev just look? And he was able to dominate Tafik Masayev. Jack Hermansson's a hell of a grappler. He put him out with an overhand right. And then the Chris Curtis domination, like you said, bell to buzzer, ass whooping. He's really showed us a lot. And, you should also point back to the loss, that Mateusz Rebecki split decision. He showed his durability. So there's a lot to like about Orolbai. He really is a lock in this fight. And so you can't hate on Vegas for pricing us out of it, eh?
All right. So here's where things would get interesting, because a minus 1,000 money line is not playable.
Untouchable.
If he is to go out and win by finish, historically, at this weight class, Orolbai finishing intention is a lot higher. Minus 160 for just the finish. Now, of course, winning by submission seems like the more likely outcome. Plus 285 for an Orolbai sub. I will tell you guys this. I don't think Orolbai is a dead man in striking against kind of a wild puncher in Carlston Harris. And with the kind of technical kickboxing that Orolbai does have, I could see counters landing for him and him catching Wells on the feet, especially with the threat of grappling, into a potential damaging shot that kind of withers Wells a bit, and then into a submission threat. Not necessarily a club and sub, but I could see some strikes landing clean for Orolbai, him softening up Wells and then getting to the fight to the ground and then buzzsawing through him and locking in that submission. So I am going to say I'm going to pick submission here for Orolbai. It's plus 285. Not saying that it's the lock of the century, because a hard fought and dominant decision is live. And sure, he's got the power to land a big punch or even ground and pound from top position. But I do think Wells is live to get subbed. I think there's a big technicality difference in the grappling. Even though Wells has decent jiu-jitsu, I think like the Orolbai level of grappling is towards the elite, whereas Wells is like a fun mid-level guy.
It's just powerful, man. The way Orolbai combines his wrestling with that fence control, he's got a little bit of a submission game. I really think he could bully in this fight, man. I don't really. And this is I think going to be a strength difference, even maybe with the striking, bro. I even think Orolbai on the feet might be able to do some work here. So it's a step down in competition for Orolbai and a step up in competition for Wells. Wells just beat Temba Garimbo. He's up against an offensive grappler who's going to be able to control him quite a bit, man. I think Wells is going to be on the defense a lot in this fight, just like Chris Curtis found himself. And by the way, similar body type between Chris Curtis and Wells. I think Orolbai is ready to smash this guy, brother. Talking about smashing this guy. Blood taxes in this hoe. Another OG. We've been talking to blood taxes for a long time. Blood taxes wants to know, does Islam Makhachev surpass George Rush St. Pierre in the GOAT list this weekend? Damn, you got to put it like that, bro. I love GSP. you gotta put it like that, dude. Blood taxes, honestly, I think he might already have done it. You look at his record, the one loss was really early on. Other than that, he's just, he's finished champions, the two weight classes he's fighting in. He's now defending the belt as a 3-1 favorite. He's not just taking out Michael Bisping for the one time. You got to put some respect on Islam Makhachev. He's the clear, I think the better way to talk about him is he's the clear number one pound for pound. My buddy Marcel, who just told me he's getting married, by the way. He had proposed to his girl. So shout out to my boy, Marcel. Congratulations, Marcel. he said, he asked me, he's like, so like, who's the man right now in MMA? I only had one name for him, and it's Islam Makhachev. There was a debate there between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev, and now there's one.
There's one, and there can only be one. Thank you, Blood Taxes. Sherm, thank you for the 5. We appreciate you, bro. Everybody loves Oral. Fair point.
I am a fan.
And listen, he's the man this weekend. So, trusting what you like, bro. Orolbai taking it home. I think submission is really pretty probable here. So I'm going to go towards Orolbai sub at the big plus money. And I'm going to say violent intent. If you look at Mitabek Orolbai historically, he's got 6 submission wins with 7 KOs opposite just 3 decisions. So it's not like the Chris Curtis fight is like a typical Mitabek Orolbai performance. His style is getting people done with inside of the distance. So I am thinking he's live to get another submission win. So we're riding with Orolbai, starting it off with
riding on a mammoth with him.
He's the fucking man on the woolly mammoth. 10,000 BC to now. He's been ready to take the crown many years, man. Starting the card off with a domination. Let's keep running. Next fight up the card, it's Neil Magny versus Ramiz Brahimaj. I think this is a tricky pick because Ramiz Brahimaj has the one clear pathway to win, which is that front headlock position. He's got nasty gillies. He's a submission ace. On the opposite side, though, you literally have a comeback merchant in Neil Magny. He does a great job of weathering storms, tends to start slow and finish strong. And I think about Neil Magny over recent years, and then you really look at, he's lost to, Yaroslav Amosov,
sure.
Carlos Prates, Michael Morales.
Sure.
I'm having a hard time feeling confidence to just straight up pick Brahimaj when his best win is Austin Vanderford and Billy Ray Goff. I don't think those are huge wins, or Mickey Gall. He hasn't beaten anybody at a higher tier. Now, yes, Magny's 39, but I feel like he is a bit of a young 39 with the way that he fights. Magny, kind of a well-versed generalist and not a guy that ever relied on his like reflexes and whatnot and being incredibly slick, or even necessarily relied on being the most physical guy. He kind of just relies on being able to defend shots fairly well, peppering out some volume, and then people tend to get tired fighting a Neil Magny at a high 3-round pace. I'm leaning towards Magny by decision. That's going to be the pick, but I won't lie and say that the Brahimaj submission line is not going to catch my eye because the threat of it is there, and Magny nearly got choked out by the side of Jake Matthews. I told the chat,
nearly.
I'm considering, he was pretty much out. I'm considering Friday being my official call on this one. I want to see it when they face off. But I've done it before where I've had a prop on the other side and then it's come through. I feel like this could be one of those spots. So I don't know, man. Like low confidence Magny pick, but like definitely have my eye on Brahimaj. I just worry about if he doesn't get that first round submission and it's a hard 3-round pace, I favor Magny to take a decision.
What do you think I'm going to pick?
You're picking Brahimaj by sub.
That's my boy, bro. Ramiz Brahimaj fucking Neil Magny up. AJ! Ramiz Brahimaj is better on the ground than these guys who've submitted Neil Magny by far. Jake Matthews? Ramiz Brahimaj is choking him out. And you mentioned that, it's Austin Vanderford or, it's Billy Ray Goff. He finished these guys. He submitted these guys. He finished these guys. These were not close fights. And Ramiz Brahimaj is better at striking than ever. He's getting aggressive. He's actually really throwing heat, which is going to get him into the hips. I think Neil Magny is becoming less and less dangerous as he's getting older here. And I think Neil Magny is going to get bullied by Ramiz Brahimaj. Big strength difference between these two. A height difference is real, but does Neil Magny really know how to use his reach? Not really. He knows how to use it with grappling. He knows how to come back, like you said, and Ramiz Brahimaj is a bit of a tornado. So you're not crazy, but brother, I picked, what was he, a 2-1 dog? It was something kind of wide against Austin Vanderford, and I locked that in premium channel. And I think in this matchup, man, you got 39-year-old grappler who's been submitted 7 times in his career in Neil Magny, and you got this young gun who, just dropped the decision to Soriano, but before that is on a nice run, is showing clear improvement in his striking, has physical talent, has speed, has power. There's a lot of advantages to like. And then just the straight technique advantage, just straight technique on the mat. This dude takes necks. I think he's taking Neil Magny's. Hey, AJ said in the main event that Ian Machado Garry has a long neck. what about the long ass neck on this green bean? Ramiz Brahimaj submission.
Listen, Finch, I like the Brahimaj call, and I won't say anything other than I'm very live to pull over to that side. I made the call yesterday feeling twisted, and I allow myself that Friday show to really make my mind up. But I won't lie to you. I'm looking at the line of sub at plus 175, and I'm thinking to myself, man, 12 wins by submission, a 39-year-old Neil Magny. It feels like it's now or never for Brahimaj if he's going to beat somebody decent.
That's right.
I don't think it's a wild take. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm kind of like, it's almost like you start regretting a certain pick and you want to flip it. I can't flip it today. I got to see him.
Come on, bro.
But I'm strongly leaning towards, like, I feel like I'm picking Brahimaj unofficially. It's just for the sake of the show. I'll hold it there until Friday. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Hey, catch him Friday for the pick flip, y'all. We got his ass.
Let's go.
Emilio Huerta, the guy in the fedora hat, reminds me of my grandpa. That's fucked up, but my grandpa never made me money like this, dude. Let's go. He hits you with the AJ's a young man, by the way, but he hits you with that, and then he goes, "You making money? Fantastic." And I think the $5 is coming from those earnings, AJ.
I appreciate it. Hey, Apollo, thank you for $2.79. I think Islam Malik, Ribovics, Orolbai, Alvarez are locks. I respect your confident picks, Apollo. We'll talk about it all soon, man. You got some good reads, bro. But yeah, I mean, bro, I just get in my head a little bit about one loss in particular for Brahimaj, and that was Themba Garimbo, but he looked a lot better since then. And to be fair, I've been picking Brahimaj every time, and I've, kind of been anti-Magny for a while. So, one thing I'll tell you I love about doing the Sunday show is I get to wake up Monday and be like, do I fucking agree with my pick? Then I got all week. I'm like, this one maybe I'm tripping on. And I don't know. The Brahimaj side is kind of feeling like it's more mine. It's like I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, man, how the fuck did I pick Neil Magny last night? It's one of those situations, bro.
AJ got roofied. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, am I really? I picked Neil Magny last night. I'm picking Brahimaj by sub. Really, I'm looking at plus 175
sub. Headache and shit.
I'm like, I'm gonna bet the sub, bro. Like, so I don't know.
It's like, dude, why don't I have the condom in my wallet anymore? What the fuck?
It's one of those nights. I don't know what the fuck happened. Brahimaj finished plus 135.
Let's go.
Jesus, bro. Like, the more I'm thinking about the Brahimaj and Magny fight, the more I'm thinking to myself, 12 submission wins.
Do it.
Shit, bro. Too many wins by submission in a row. I'll be honest, chat. I'm pick flipping Monday, but really, I won't lie to y'all. I was initially going to go Brahimaj. And then, I don't know, I just sat there watching Magny tape. And I was like, man, but Magny could survive. And you know what happens? Paralysis by analysis, bro. One of the most difficult parts of this game is knowing when to close the book on the tape study, shut that shit off, and make your pick. Because sometimes you're going to have it. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to be like, I got it. And then you're going to watch more and more and more. And then you start selling yourself into every side. So we'll decide officially Friday. I'll see him face off. But I got to bet Brahimaj by sub, bro. And I'm looking at the other side. Neil Magny to win by decision plus 270. Him surviving 15. I don't know. It worries me. So there we go. W peer pressure. Hey, Sherm from Jackson. Thank you for the 10. I think the thing about doing the Monday show is I get a whole night to sleep on the calls, and then I get to hear from Finch the mentality that he has, and it kind of makes me rethink my calls. And I always live by this mentality. When I have a hard time defending a call with confidence is when I'm like, wait a second. And then when I already had second thoughts, it can kind of pull me the other way. So yeah, man, I definitely am starting to think about Brahimaj sub. And I already mentioned it on last night's show. So you guys know the Brahimaj sub prop is something I'm going to play. So,
very similar to me, bro. I'll make bets early when I really want to, when I see a line I love or when I'm really confident in something, but I generally make my bets after this show because it does help having to go to battle with you sometimes on some picks or not, right? Or linking up with you and going, yeah, this makes sense. So I do like to have to defend my thought process with you, and it does help me to. So same right back at you, brother. You influence my bets as well. It's not like we always agree. Almost every show we disagree on some picks, but it's always a healthy exercise.
Agreed. Moneyline odds just for the people: -122 Brahimaj, +102 Magny. you know, it's like betting Magny as an underdog doesn't necessarily feel right in my gut. And the only bet on this fight that stands for me is either a finish Brahimaj or a submission Brahimaj. So that's the straight up truth for me, guys.
Brahimaj. I don't know why I keep seeing a guillotine. It could be a rear strangle. Rear strangle or guillotine. He's taking that giraffe neck.
Let's go. Let's go. Finch, I have made an early flip to that side.
Yes!
It feels like my side.
We got him, Chad.
So let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got Rafael Tobias versus Lucas Fernando. Tobias had a tough debut against Dr. Nurgajai, but he still did fairly well when he got to dominant position on him and showed some decent grappling. And Dr. Nurgajai looked pretty nice this past weekend. So I do think the initial impact of the stock on the loss versus now, let's hold for a second. And then Fernando, I mean, hey, W Range E, the discussions are important. Fernando is a contender series loser. He's a guy that got out grappled by Azamat Bakoyev. And now, yes, he's been looking good, knocking some cans out with his striking. I got doubts about his ground game here. And Tobias is a strong grappler. He's at a new gym now. He's training with Abdul-Rahman Makhachev, which I think is a big deal. He's managed by Gilbert Burns. And I was looking through his Instagram because I wanted to see like if something called me towards him, because I definitely thought he was a guy that needed to improve on some things. And he talks about, man, I had to really lock in, I had to change things. I'm at this gym now, this, and that. So I like that he recognized, hey, man, I can't just brawl with these guys and bully them. No, I need to get with a good gym and really step shit up. And I'm thinking about him in this matchup having a nice physicality advantage over the former middleweight in Fernando. Fernando is a good distance kickboxer. Tobias is the opposite. He's a close range striker-wise brawler for sure. But he's actually a really physical grappler. And I feel like Fernando is going to get out-muscled, man. And I think we're going to see Tobias get this win. He lost his UFC debut to Dr. Nurgajai. He had some good moments, had him down, nearly had a Sulov stretch at the end of the fight. His jiu-jitsu's real, and I like that he's already got a UFC win on his record. I'm going to go towards Tobias to pull off the win. I feel like he's being slept on a little bit because of that Nurgajai fight. And as much as I like Fernando's distance kickboxing, I still am not sure about his grappling. He hasn't looked great against guys with some takedown threats that are a lot smaller than Tobias. Like Azamat Bakoyev looks like 2 weight classes below Tobias, and he cooked him on the ground. I think Tobias's ground game could show itself here, and I'm going to favor grappling from Rafael Tobias.
Damn. Yeah, it's a tough one for me, especially because it's a UFC debut. You got this LFA striker coming in. He looks good, man. He looks talented on the feet. It is distance striking. I think something I like here is that we're in the big cage and that he might be able to use that movement a little bit, stick that jab out there. He's got a nice stiff jab. And I could see him dropping Tobias. Tobias is more well-rounded, has a better ground game. And you're right, Dr. Nurgajai's wrestling is probably better than Fernando's, especially defensively. You've seen Fernando get taken down. That is how he lost. He's 13-3. So he lost decisions from having problems with his takedown defense, and also he lost to Cesar Almeida. But yeah, he's been killing it in LFA, man. Some of these finishes are nasty. I like the speed. I like the athleticism. I am going to slightly lean Fernando here, brother, but this is one that I'll meditate at the mountaintop about too. I'm not jumping at the line. The line's kind of wide, right?
3-1 status for the side of Fernando here.
I can't do that, bro. I can't do 3-1 on a UFC debut when, Tobias has got a little bit of experience now. He did the Contender Series fight. He did his first fight at UFC 326. This is his second pay-per-view, as to where Lucas Fernando was just out of here on the Contender Series, went back to LFA. And then, of course, the Azamat Bakoyev loss. Azamat Bakoyev, a jacked wrestler. I don't have enough faith in Tobias's takedowns. I need to have faith that he is going to get him down on the mat. If he was more of a wrestler, I might pick him here. On the mat, it is dangerous. He could submit him. I'm going to say Fernando keeps the fight where he needs it, uses his speed, uses his athleticism, uses his bag of strikes, and he might even find a finish. But make no mistake about it. I'll dig into this one deeper, and it certainly ain't in the 5 most confident. I ain't messing up the Khabib 29-0 on Fernando. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, Fernando definitely not deserving of a 3-1 tag. I think like if he was minus 160, I'd get it as the prospect coming in here with the LFA belts. But Tobias as a plus 245 dog, I'm going to pick that side. I think he's live to win. Prop betting wise, it doesn't really matter to me. I think you could just money line Tobias as a big underdog. If you were interested in propping it, I feel like I lean, Tobias potentially by a grind heavy decision, which is plus 650, or even a submission, which is plus 600. Those are probable outcomes. And I'm going to say UFC experience matters a bit here. And I guess I have a bit of a bad taste in my mouth from Fernando on Contender Series. I really was not impressed by him years ago. And like I watched the LFA shit recently, and yeah, he's fucking these dudes up, but like they look like mids to me. I mean, Philip Latu's losing a lot of fights, and the other guy had a decent record, but he kind of just stood on the outside and got picked apart. So I'm gonna say Tobias is a little too physical. Yeah, we'll go that side.
Yeah, interesting one for me. I mean, if there's any fight I want to, like I did a ton of tape study on the girl fight, a ton of tape study on the main event. I would like to dig a little deeper here. And I'm gonna say that Fernando's takedown defense is good enough to keep this where he needs it. Am I saying knockout or decision? He's a finisher, bro. Let's go TKO.
Respect. Apollo MC1, thank you for 279. Did you guys hear about Shavkat's father? I did see something about that. He passed away. Rest in peace, man. Shavkat has had a rough couple of years, dude.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, Shavkat with the injury. Damn you, Ian Gary. And sorry to hear that. That's terrible news.
That is terrible news. Thank you for the dono, my boy. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, we got Vicente Luque and Tresean Gore. Another one that in some sense you flip a coin and run with it. I'm going to go towards Tresean Gore. I just been saying Vicente Luque has been washed for a long time. I still hate his response to Joaquin Buckley's ground and pound. And like, yes, he was able to beat Kelvin Gastelum last time. And like, he looked kind of good in that spot, but I just don't know about Vicente Luque. He's taken a shitload of damage over his career. And, now I'm picking a 6-4 Tresean Gore against him. But this is how this game goes sometimes. Tresean Gore coming off a nice comeback against Azamat Bakoyev. His chin is good. Tresean Gore, he eats some shots. The guy never quits on himself. I definitely think punch power advantages Gore, and I think he's got that natural athleticism edge. Vicente Luque is pretty clean with his Brazilian-style kickboxing, the tight guard, the stiff jab, the heavy low kicks, and his anacondas are nasty. I mean, his submission game is good, but to be fair, Tresean Gore is a deceptively good grappler. His UFC wins are all gillies, and I feel like Tresean Gore is live to hurt Vicente Luque on the feet and potentially also pull off a submission against Luque. I got doubts about Luque. The Kevin Holland fight, he kind of freezes. He's just getting ripped with shots as he's holding on to a single leg. I'm not going to pick Vicente Luque in this one. I'm going to go towards Gore with a little more upside and momentum, less battle scars on him. And I'll go Gore to find a way against Luque in this one.
Isn't it amazing that Luque is 34?
I feel like I keep thinking he's 38, man.
You're right. It's like 34. Huh? 34. Yeah, 38 sounds correct. But this is a good matchup, man. Both of them really impressed me in the last one. Both of them did. I know it's Kelvin Gastelum and even Azamat Bakoyev. I know it's Azamat Bakoyev, who's a good wrestler. But they both look good, man. It's a fun matchup because of what just happened. They were both on a skid. I mean, you had Vicente Luque losing to Joel Alvarez and Kevin Holland, but in hindsight, it's Joel Alvarez and Kevin Holland, and then Tresean Gore losing to Rodolfo Vieira and Marco Tulio, not as good, right? Tresean Gore against Azamat Bakoyev, though, super impressive. And they say, don't be silly, jump the gilly. He doesn't even jump gillies, bro. He'll just do it standing. He ain't got to jump nowhere. Tresean Gore's got a vice grip for you to put your head in there. And I think he's a more powerful striker than Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque at range is good, and they are in the big cage, which is a little concerning. Vicente Luque probably has an advantage in submission grappling, but Tresean Gore does have his trick. It's a hell of a trick, and I think he's going to hit with more consequence. Very slightly into Tresean Gore. This is another good fight.
Sherm from Jackson, thank you for the 5. Choose Gore to stop global warming. Funny as fuck, man. Listen, global warming live to end this Saturday as Tresean Gore live for a finish. He's a slight favorite, though. Gore's actually minus 125 here. Luque plus 105 as the underdog. Gore to win by submission, his specialty, 3-1 odds. KO plus 315. I'm going to say Gore does it again. And I'll say this, that Rodolfo Vieira fight was awful for Gore, but Gore wasn't himself in that fight. He missed weight. I believe he took that fight injured. He did better. Even against Marco Tulio, he landed some big shots. Yeah. I feel like you can't doubt Tresean Gore's punch power, and I still have serious doubts about Luque's ability to absorb damage. Yeah, it really worries me, man. I just don't trust in the Luque durability in 2026, man.
The way Kevin Holland beat his ass, I was like, whoa, there's a big speed difference here. There's a big athleticism difference here. Gore has some of that, but Vicente Luque bounced back nicely, man. It's hard to know what Vicente Luque I'm going to get and it's also hard to know what Tresean Gore, like you just said. He came in when he missed weight and didn't look good. This is the right matchup. You know, UFC matchmakers, sometimes they kill it. They killed it here. I'm a little bit stumped. I like the power, the athleticism of Tresean Gore. I think he has a brighter future than Vicente Luque. Him getting to the target, he's more live to finish this fight. Vicente Luque has got nice submissions, though. So it's a fun one. It's definitely a fun matchup. Tresean Gore, decision?
Respect on the Tresean Gore side. We're both going for him. And we'll see what happens when the cage door closes this Saturday with these two. Next fight up the card, we got Donte Johnson versus Eric McConico. I'm going to trust in the prospect in Donte Johnson here. He's training at Extreme Couture, getting sparring rounds in with Sean Strickland. He's 27.
I like that you know that because nobody else knows that. He changed camps to Extreme Couture. It matters.
It fucking matters, dude. I really think that Donte Johnson's going to look better. He had some trouble with Cody Brundage, but so did Eric McConico. And I'm an Eric McConico whisperer, low-key.
You are.
Because I picked him against Rodolfo Vieira when nobody believed. And he was able to pull it off in a hard fight. He even got clubbed early. Dude, if you're getting cracked by Rodolfo Vieira, though, like that, in a big shot that almost puts him down, I'm thinking about this freak athlete in Donte Johnson who's 27, and he's a sparring partner of Sean Strickland now. He's undefeated as a pro. I think you're only going to see better performances from Donte Johnson. And Eric McConico, also a guy who's been sung that sweet chin music before. He's got 4 KO losses. And Donte Johnson hits hard, and he's fast, and he's athletic. And I think he's going to come into this fight confident. I think he's live to catch McConico here. I'm going to trust in Donte Johnson to land some big shots and end up putting McConico away. I think he's too fast. And he's just got too much momentum, man, you know, and switching gyms, confidence building. I think the Brundage fight being close for him was a good thing because he said, okay, I really got to fucking tighten some shit up, man. I can't be going to a split decision like that with Cody. And I feel like you're going to see Donte Johnson with a better performance, and the hype continues to grow. I think he performs here. I'm going to go him KO. I think he sleeps Eric McConico with some big shots.
I was watching that fight with him and Brundage and thinking, like, this guy got exposed tonight. I was thinking this guy got exposed tonight. But then he does the right things. He goes and he starts training with the middleweight champ. He's over there in Las Vegas. I think that matters. And just watching the sparring footage of him and Sean Strickland that came out today, dude, Sean Strickland got hit a couple times pretty hard by Donte Johnson. The thing I don't like about this guy, he's 5'8". Eric McConico's 6 feet tall. So this dude's got to like jump into his punches to hit Eric McConico. Luckily, Eric McConico, not the most consequential striker. He's a decent opponent. Like, he gave kind of a resistance to Basinger Susurkayev, and he looked okay in the last one. That last one was Rodolfo Vieira. That's right. But yeah, split decision with Cody Brundage. He didn't handle Cody Brundage too well either. Donte Johnson made me sweat on that Cody Brundage one, man. And Cedric Dumas, it's like, it is Cedric Dumas. So he's got more to prove for sure. But I think Johnson's speed, explosiveness matters here. I don't see Eric McConico being able to take him down, which would be like a major concern. especially after the Cody Brundage fight where they were stalled out in those wrestling positions. And he looked green to me, brother. He looked like a really promising amateur. I mean, I just called a full amateur card. And in the main event, we had Austin Clow versus Cole Hansen, two guys who you will absolutely see in the pros. And honestly, in Cole Hansen, after Cole Hansen's performance there, I'd be surprised if Cole Hansen doesn't make it to the UFC. 22-year-old kid looked really good. Sometimes when you're watching these guys at the amateur level, you'll just see that promise. That's what Donte Johnson looks to me, but he's in the fucking UFC. Is this matchup out of his league? No. Are there matchups that are out of his league? Yes. I'm going to need to see more from Donte Johnson. I'm going to trust the youth, the explosiveness, the speed. But just remember, if you're thinking about betting on Donte Johnson, people keep calling Ilia Topuria a midget. Well, this guy's got the same problem.
Minus 220 for the short stack. Donte Johnson is going to be my pick, and Finch's. McConico plus 186 as the underdog. Johnson does hit pretty hard, but plus 125, the KO prop is not great. Regardless, though, I am going to trust it. Hey, W. Sherm from Jackson, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. You're an absolute gem, bro. Appreciate you on that. I think he lands some big punches. I'll say McConico's at a speed disadvantage, and we see the fifth knockout loss for McConico here. So Johnson KO the pick as a moderate size favorite, but a trending upwards type of prospect, and I'll favor that over a difficult to deal with mid-level guy. Let's go.
You really are the one who I thought about as soon as I saw this matchup. I thought, I wonder what AJ thinks because he likes McConico. You just made me feel better.
Yeah, I do like McConico. I just worry against Donte. You know, Rodolfo Vieira, he definitely has been showing the slowdown signs, whereas like I think it's nothing but up for Donte Johnson at 27. So I'll trust in the youth. I'll trust in the high-level gym, and consistent exposure to difficult tests in the training room should lead to better results and more impressive wins. So we'll go Johnson for the win. Next fight up the card. Woo, Jalin Turner versus Kauê Fernandes. This is a sick fight. This is one of the most underrated fights on the card. Jalin Turner looked destructive against Edson Barboza last time, and he hits hard as fuck. The problem is Jalin Turner, he's a very good bully. He's really not a great nail. Adversity becomes a downfall. We saw it against Ignacio Bahamondes. He was looking okay on the feet, got on top, and kind of froze in Ignacio Bahamondes' guard, getting hit with a triangle choke by Bahamondes, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. He kind of gave it to him almost. It's like there was a mental lapse. He retires from the sport after. And then he comes back, I hate to say it, but to an easy fight, a completely washed Edson Barboza, who's also on this card. And now they're giving him a real talented karate kickboxer in Kauê Fernandes, who's difficult to deal with on the feet, who attacks the legs incredibly well, who's got fast darting abilities into range. Now, yes, Turner is going to have some advantages in physicality. Of course, he always does. He's 6'3" at 155. Now, what's interesting, though, is though Kauê is substantially shorter, only a 2.5-inch reach advantage, which has me thinking a bit, the Kauê Fernandes kicks seem rather live to still land from where Turner would have a harder time to punch him. If Turner had an 82-inch reach, there would be a lot more fear of a Turner straight shot. Because he doesn't have the longest range, I feel like Kauê's kicks could still be effective. And if Kauê survives an early explosion from Turner, which he's known well for, I mean, we saw Jalin Turner land huge shots against the side of Fernando Moicano, and then obviously last time with Edson Barboza. Kauê Fernandez's grit could probably lead him to a later stage stoppage. You know, I don't like picking a guy that retired from the sport and then decided to come back. The mental lapse worries me. Him kind of giving up against the side of Ignacio Bahamondes, even against Renato Moicano, kind of having a mental lapse after dropping him, walking away and being so upset about the ref not stopping the fight. The mental side of Jalin Turner is a huge red flag. Whereas Kauê Fernandes just gives cold-blooded killer vibes. The guy's never been finished as a pro. His only UFC loss is one against Mark Jacasey, who, I'll be honest, just held his fucking legs, didn't do shit, got outstruck and just hold on for dear life type of style. Is that really a loss? You know, your opponent was essentially just stalling. And then I think about Kauê Fernandes destroying the legs of, at the time, a nasty Garam Kutateladze who had some hype, dropping him multiple times with leg kicks. And like, yeah, Muhammad Yahya and Harry Hardwick are kind of easy fights for him, but he killed them. He made it look like a joke. I think Kauê Fernandes has got to be my pick here. I don't trust in Jalin Turner's toughness. I think Kauê Fernandes is the better technician. I think the leg kicks are definitely live. Yes, Turner stands out of southpaw, but I don't think Fernandes gives a fuck. He'll stand switch on him and attack the outside of the calf, but I'll be damned. I wouldn't be surprised if Fernandes attacks the inside of the leg. And on top of the leg attack, that southpaw stance, live to get Jalin kicked to the body hard. And I could see Turner stunned with a big body shot. So I'm going to go Kauê Fernandes. I'm going to pick him. And I think even a knockout as the official call, because Jalin Turner, the mental lapse worries me. And I cannot predict him to win against a rising striker like Kauê.
Jalin Turner is such a good dude. I see him all the time at the gym. I've been able to watch some of his training, and he's definitely putting in a lot of hours, man. He trains during the day, and then he comes over to UFC Gym Huntington Beach at night. He puts in a lot of ring work. I've offered him the cage sometimes. He's out there with like his boxing shoes or whatever. I'm watching him move, and the guy's putting in tons of work. He wants this. He's got little kids. He's got babies to feed. He definitely wants this big time. You said you were the Eric McConico whisperer, brother. I'm the Kauê Fernandes whisperer. I picked him against Guran Kutateladze when he was an underdog. I locked him against Harry Softdick because I knew that was a mismatch. And now here he's up. It's a tougher matchup for him. I mean, the athleticism of Jalin Turner, his ability to punch, his length, bro. He is 6'3". He's 6'3". Kauê Fernandes is 5'9". But Kauê Fernandes is a kicker, and that's a whole other range. When I start teaching people mixed martial arts, I show them, hey, here's boxing range. See how I could reach you here? See how I could touch your chest? Okay, watch this. I step further back. I'm like, see how I can't reach you anymore? And then I touch them in the stomach with a kick, and usually their eyes light up. They're like, holy shit, you could kick me from all the way over there. It is remarkable how much range a good kicker has, and Kauê Fernandes has that. So even on the outside in that big cage, I think he's chopping this tree down, man. I think Kauê Fernandes is a brutal matchup for Jalin Turner. So I think Jalin Turner is going to try to put some big shots on him, try to put some speed on him, put the two down the pipe, maybe even try to wrestle him. But this is a Nova União guy. This guy is going to be very, very difficult to deal with on the ground. I don't think there's like an easy submission there. And on the feet, I just see Kauê Fernandes slamming kicks in here. And then even if he wants to mix it up with the hands, he's got hands too. So I'm gonna lean Kauê Fernandes in this good matchup, in a good fight.
Really good fight. I'm glad that you're also on Kauê, because this was one where I was really excited to see your take. I'm curious what the Finch pathway is on that one. I like it.
I can't be biased, dude. I can't be biased. So nobody tell Jalin Turner I just picked Kauê Fernandes. And if Jalin win or lose, I'll have him on the show.
We got a Finch up in here. Riley Finch, thank you for $4.99. Thank you guys. You helped me cash for rent on Saturday. Fuck Chepo still. Hey. That's funny as fuck.
Fuck Seppo. Shit, I told you that before the fight. Let's
did.
go, Riley. Let's eat, dude. Thank you.
Emilio Huerta, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. You're a gangster, bro. Thanks, pal.
Boom.
JT Metal, thank you for $50, you gangster. AJ and the Finch of the shit. Another weekend of big unit wins. Thank you to both. Hey, WJT, thank you for the generous 50, bro.
Damn, $50, brother. I see you winning over there, JT. Let's eat, bro. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Got to get some nice shirts for the UFC numbered cards. I couldn't even fit in one of these, bro. I used to be able to wear this one. Hold up. Let me show you what I got. I used to be able to wear this one out. Dude, the guns are too big, bro.
Too big.
I've been hitting these weights, dog. I'm trying to catch up, AJ.
Let's go, Finch.
JT, you're going to help me get a new one. Thank you, buddy.
Finch rocking from the mediums to the freaking larges up in here, baby. Oh, shit.
Literally, dude, I started to put it on. I was sitting right here. I was like, Haley, I can't even fit. And my baby laughed. She like literally laughed on time. So
that's great.
Even my girl's clowning me, dude.
That's funny, man. Finch, man, becoming thick, man. Finch. Making it happen. W, bro. Hey, looking like pre-UFC Louis Sutherland up in here, man. The traps are trapping.
Oh, yeah. With the trap.
Yeah. Different Louis, bro. Different Louis.
Come on.
Hey,
I'm not on
Finch,
that
man,
shit though.
you're not on the Louis stack just yet, man. Maybe
I
a
wasn't
40.
on the
You know?
pre-UFC Louis stack. No.
Pre-UFC Louis. We'll hit him up with the peptides. Finch, man, what do you think? Plus 140 Kauê Fernandes. Okay.
If you guys want to see my bets, MikeFinchShow.com. I got premium channel where I give out my favorite bets. We're on fucking fire, AJ. 7 straight parlays.
Amazing.
7 straight parlays.
Amazing.
AJ has called me the parlay king. Let's fucking go, AJ. I think Kauê Fernandes is a good dog, brother. I do.
Let's go. W to the Finch. Kauê Fernandes, the call for me, the call for him, plus 140, the money line. You don't need to chase props. If you're on the opposite side, minus 160 for Turner. Kauê KO plus 250. Kauê sub sitting at plus 9. I think the money line is your A side of it. He's got 6 KOs, opposite, 2 submissions. So obvious pathway would be him going out and potentially knocking out the side of Jalin, but it could be a 3-round banger. And both of us favoring the side of Kauê Fernandes as an underdog is a good sign. And I like that it's a plus money tag. So W to the Finch, man. Let's go. I like where we're at, bro. That made me feel really happy, actually.
Let's go. Come on. You think I've been at UFC gym not looking at Jalin Turner? Fucking thinking of Kauê Fernandes in front of him and shit. Watch him.
Yeah. That's great.
Love Jalin Turner, man. Yo, he's like one of the nicest guys in MMA. So
He seems cool.
How dare I pick against Tyrell Fortune in the last one? I pick against Jalin Turner. How dare I?
It is what it is, man. Let's jump up to the featured prelim of the night. We got Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani versus Joel Alvarez. I like Joel Alvarez in this spot. Listen, I'm an OG Chidi Bang Bang fan, but I'm not the biggest welterweight Chidi fan. I saw an interview of him years ago talking about how hard it is to get to 170, and he's not getting younger. He's 37 now, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak here. Last fight, he got dog walked by Carlos Leal, and now he's taking on a Joel Alvarez, who was the rising phenom at lightweight. Moved up in weight, handled Vicente Luque, and then they're like, hey, man, we're going to give you Yaroslav Amosov. Okay, well, it is what it is. Amosov's a murderer, and he went out and got dominated and submitted. It is what it is. Shit happens. I think this matchup, you have to favor Alvarez to submit Chidi Njokuani. Njokuani's a pretty good Muay Thai striker. He's got nice teeps to the body. He's got nice elbows inside. I mean, shit, Chidi Njokuani's a dangerous fighter, but I think that Alvarez should be able to get him down and should be a lot better at jiu-jitsu. And then striking-wise, Alvarez is fast, man. And even though Chidi has the, credentials and the technicality with the true Muay Thai, I think Alvarez's kickboxing could still work. So I'm going Alvarez, Finch, man.
Yeah, Chidi's got some freaky long arms, dude. 80-inch reach, but they're both 6'3", 77-inch reach for Joel Alvarez. And Jake Matthews was able to club and sub him. And then you guys saw the Carlos Leal fight where a little more competitive, but Joel Alvarez is special. And this ain't fucking Yaroslav Amosov, okay? This is a tall, lanky striker who's going to play the game that Joel Alvarez plays. Joel Alvarez is totally down to kickbox with people, and he's got better hands than Chidi Njokuani. Chidi Njokuani, I like this fight. I like watching Chidi Njokuani fights. I do, but I just don't see where he has an advantage here. The only thing I could see is like reach. Joel Alvarez is going to be able to kickbox with him. And as AJ said, submission is super live. Joel Alvarez should be pretty significantly better on the ground. And sometimes Chidi Njokuani, when it really counts, he gets a little conservative. Like Chidi Njokuani kind of keeps everything in tight and isn't able to make the adjustments that he needs to make. He's got a cool style. It's a pretty kickboxing game, but Joel Alvarez, I could just see him landing the quality shots. I could see him just sitting Chidi Njokuani down, and that's where the sub would be live. So I'm going to lean Joel Alvarez TKO, but it's less clear on how this thing ends.
Looking at the money line, it's minus 250 for Joel Alvarez. Chidi Bang Bang sitting at plus 207 as a fair-sized dog. If you like the knockout side for Alvarez, you're sitting up at plus 265. Submission, which is my pick, is plus 190. Then the fight just to be an Alvarez finish sits at minus 140. Damn it. They're not giving us any plus money for the finish, man. Let me see if I got better lines. That way, like, come on, at least plus. I always think if it's a -2, at least plus 100. Give us a
Right,
fucking
a little
something,
juice on the finish.
Yeah, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
like I went to my site and I'm like, all right, here we go. Quill and Sal killed inside the distance. Absolute lock. I go, it's like plus 130. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's it. You're gonna give me a -130 favorite is only plus 130 inside the distance.
I
The
know.
risk wasn't even worth it. I'll just take the
I know.
-130.
I know.
So sometimes they juice the inside the distance. I don't like to chase those. I like to keep, I like to keep the risk as managed as possible. And that line that you just said is not that. I think maybe Joel Alvarez in a parlay would make more sense than Joel Alvarez inside the distance at those odds.
I agree. I'm definitely a finish prop merchant. That's my cup of tea. I love betting finish props. And if it was plus 100 here, I'd definitely be all over it. Considerable line though on the sub. I don't hate it at plus, nearly 200. And I think it's live. So I don't know. Definitely interested in Alvarez by sub. But if it was a, finish for plus 110, I'd probably just bet that instead. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. Definitely got my eye on Alvarez. I think we both like him. We're feeling the same type of way. It should be Alvarez taking this one home and going out and handling business here. So Finch and I both going Alvarez, taking care of business.
Taking care of business every way. Joel's taking care of business. It's all right. Taking care of business and choking Chidi out. Come on. Maybe it is a submission. If it's a submission, I think it's a club and sub. I don't see Joel Alvarez. You think he's just going to blast double him?
He finds weird ways to get people down.
Yeah.
With Joel Alvarez. Yeah. So he could definitely crack an older Chidi and then take his back.
That makes sense. Club and sub is totally live.
Let's go. Finch and I both going Alvarez as we jump on up to our main card opener. If you guys are enjoying the show, be sure to smash that damn like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Join us every single Monday as we cover this beautiful UFC shit, man. Bringing the thunder each and every week. Now, Finch, I've been hogging the microphone for the start of every prediction. So I want to give you some shine on the main card. Break it down for us, man. Who you got? Edson Barboza, Esteban Ribovics, and why?
Edson Barboza's in the top of his prime right now, ladies and gentlemen. Edson Barboza is a force to be reckoned with. He really is. And honestly, early on, he probably is still quite dangerous at 40 years old. But the Jalin Turner fight, the Drakkar Close fight, the Lerone Murphy fight, we got to go back to 2023 to find the Sadiq Youssef decision to go, okay, he's dangerous. And I did rewatch the Billy Quarantilla one recently where we still had Edson Barboza of old. Nowadays, we just don't. And so here he is up against a very talented striker in Esteban Ribovics. Esteban Ribovics had a big problem with Mateusz Gamrot, but that was because Gamrot could take him down. Edson Barboza, has he ever shot a takedown? I mean, Edson Barboza is going to fight him where he wants to fight. And I'm going to take the kid who's in his prime. I'm going to take the kid who's got good hand speed, got good, just overall striking is very solid. Esteban is fun to watch. And you could just see him taking this thing over as we put some damage on Edson Barboza, as we see Edson Barboza shoot a few shots. Like early on, Edson Barboza will still have that pop. But as those minutes tick by, I think you'll see the danger come down for Edson Barboza. I think you'll see the pace come up for Esteban. And so I think I'm going to take him TKO.
Yeah, I think I'm going Ribovics KO with you, bro. He's a fast starter with heavy hands, and it's also a fight between two guys that have mastered different ranges, like you were talking about. Edson Barboza is really good from the kicking range, but at 40, keeping Ribovics off of him, especially with Barboza not having the best boxing, I think that Ribovics is going to pressure his way into close range and rip some wild shots. I mean, Ribovics is one of those, like, I hit you, you hit me type of guys. And, typically it works pretty well for him. The recent loss was Mateusz Gamrot, who's a grappler, nowhere near this type of matchup. And then the other loss was kind of a bad decision against Nasrat Haqparast. I thought he could have got that one. But regardless, his style is forward pressure, aggressive bomb slinging. The knock on Ribovics hasn't necessarily shown huge power inside of his UFC fights per se, but I think this is the fight where Ribovics can actually get that nice knockout. We haven't seen him get a KO since he hit that high kick on Terrence McKinney, which was a hell of a highlight reel. And then also on Contender Series, he got a quick knockout. But the in-between matchups, a decision against Daniel Zellhuber, but he dropped him and he landed big, outdogging Elvis Brenner in a fun fight. It seems like this is the Ribovics setup for a banger fight and one where he can actually put Edson Barboza away at 40. So I'm going to go with Esteban Ribovics with you, bro, and I'm going to think he stops him. He should be able to land some big punches and drop Barboza. But, with Ribovics, it's a lot of flurries. It's not exactly devastating one-touch knockout power. So, if that Edson Barboza chin were to hold up and like Ribovics just outdogs him for 15 and bust him, I don't think it's like the craziest take ever. But regardless, I am going KO.
I think Esteban wants a statement here. And you just see Edson Barboza slow down as of late anyway. 40-year-old Edson against Esteban. The pick has to be TKO for me. So I do think he's going to find the shot. I like what you said. They're fast starter. Yeah. And I think he's going to get Edson shooting with him a little bit. And you also mentioned the hands. It's like Edson's got good striking coaches. Mark Henry's been able to make some champions. Mark Henry's a really good boxing coach, but some people just aren't punchers. Edson Barboza is just not a puncher. When he kicks you, Jesus Christ, do not get kicked in the liver. Make sure you're keeping his kicks in check. But that's only, he's got maybe like 10 kicks that are going to be that hard. And then beyond that, I see Esteban putting it on him. I'd be surprised if Esteban doesn't finish him, bro. Esteban could be like second round.
Money line for Ribovics minus 550 range as pretty wide favorite now.
Damn.
Edson Barboza, big underdog at plus 415. For the finish prop, you're looking at around minus 185 for Ribovics, by KO minus 160. But definitely thinking the Ribovics knockout would be the most likely pathway. Now, to be fair, he does have 5 submission wins, even though typically you don't think of him as a submission ace. Could it be some big shots land and he decides to jump on the neck of Edson? Maybe, but I would assume a lot less likely. Like, I would be pretty surprised if Ribovics subs him, and that's why Ribovics sub is plus 1200. So Ribovics knockout around minus 160 on the line. I wish the freaking line was plus money, but we take what we can get, and the outcome is most likely Ribovics dog walking Barboza. And I like what you said, within the first 2 rounds, 10 minutes or less, it should be a Ribovics stoppage.
Even Khabib did not submit Edson Barboza. So Ribovics with the hands, bro. I see hand speed difference. The more he can make Edson box with him, the better.
Yeah. The more he can make Edson box with him, the better. I like that. W to the Finchman breakdown. And Ribovics, probably a confident pick from the masses for a good reason. Let's keep running. Next fight up the card, we got Mansur Abdul-Malik versus Dustin Stoltzfus. I feel like Mansur Abdul-Malik is going to live up to it here. Stream Couture prospect. Obviously, there's a lot of good guys to train with there. We were hyping up Donte Johnson for being there. And you know who used to train there was Dustin Stoltzfus. He was at Extreme for a while. And I'm thinking, they're like, oh, yeah, Malik versus Stoltzfus. They love this matchup. Extreme knows everything Stoltzfus is good and bad at. And I'm sure they see what Malik can do in the room. And they're like, yeah, this is a good matchup for us to build some confidence back, because he took a tough loss against a really good striker in Yusri Belgori. But it's Yusri fucking Belgori, a 6'5" middleweight with incredible striking and high level range skills. Like, Yusri's a different animal. Dustin Stoltzfus is not that. He's a fun striker. He's a little bit on the slower side, but carries some power. A little awkward too. On the ground, he's got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but isn't a great wrestler. He's kind of just one of those guys that's there mixing it up. He's tough. He's going to fight hard till the end of it. He does have a tricky kickboxing style, a little bit upright, a little bit awkward, not fast, not slow, somewhere in the middle. But I think Abdul-Malik's a promising prospect. He's got heavy hands. He's a good wrestler. He's an explosive athlete. And I think he's most likely getting Stoltzfus out of there. Maybe a later stage KO, like maybe not late, but round 2, round 3, I could see. But even if need be, Malik just out dog walking him for like a decision doesn't feel crazy. I see Malik beating him up. It's just his Stoltzfus chin going to hold up, because as of late, Stoltzfus hasn't looked too bad. I mean, the Kelvin Gastelum fight was competitive. Even the Nursultan Riziboyev fight was weirdly competitive. But I feel like you got to favor Malik to dominate regardless of method of victory.
This is the right way for Malik to come back. You know, we talked about it. They kept giving him layup after layup after layup. It's like, when are they going to challenge this dude? Holy shit, they gave him Yusri, and Malik got his butt kicked there as a 6'6" Poetan, though. And in this matchup, I think he's got all three phases. I just don't really see where Stoltzfus takes him out. The black belt in jiu-jitsu is nice, but Mansour Abdul-Malik, solid ground and pound, strong wrestling, strong everything, and has shown his ability on the feet as well. I don't really see Stoltzfus having a big advantage there. And Stoltzfus is having a competitive fight with Kelvin Gastelum. He's going to be up against somebody who's got just athletics at a different level than Kelvin. As a former Kelvin sparring partner, all love to Kelvin Gastelum, but Kelvin's not fast. And Mansour Abdul-Malik, a danger in the wrestling, a danger with his hands. I think this is a good way for him to bounce back. I think that he's going to look good here, man. Mansour Abdul-Malik, of course, he's a massive favorite, though.
Yeah, he is minus 650 on the money line to Stoltzfus, a plus 476 underdog. If you think he's going to go out and finish, minus 150 for the inside distance side of Malik. The knockout, ever so slight plus money. They're giving you plus 100. And then the sub is big D-Gen odds plus 625. So, you know, you could confidently run it on knockout and then sprinkle prop it on, you know, submission. You could do inside distance instead of knockout if you're interested in prop betting it up. Obviously, you know, unplayable on the money line, but Malik should find the finish here. He's a violent style too. He's never gone distance as a pro, and all his wins are violent finishes. I mean, he's just got 2 second-round knockouts. He's got 5 in the first, and then he's also got 2 first-round submissions. I think the side of Malik to get a stoppage is very live here.
Yeah, it could look like the Bruno Ferreira fight, man. I could see him getting the finish. I think Mansour Abdul-Malik inside the distance. TKO makes sense.
Yeah, I like the KO. Plus 100, Malik by KO. That's the call from me and the call from the Finch man. We're going to believe in the prospect to go out and handle business as he should. Next fight up the card. Featured fight of the night. We got Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa. I'm going with Jose Ochoa to beat Charles Johnson here. I feel like Ochoa is a prospect that checks a lot of boxes, man. He's a dangerous striker with heavy hands. He attacks the body well with punches. I also like his ground game, training that shoot the box. And I feel like he looks to me a pretty real threat to the Charles Johnson we've seen as of late. Now, Johnson does a great job skirting the cage, striking from the outside. He's got great cardio. He finds ways to win. I mean, Charles Johnson, he's done it against some elite level competition. I just don't know that Almabayev fight. He got cooked bad. The Bruno Silva fight was a razor thin split decision. The Alex Perez loss was rough. It's like, are we seeing Johnson starting to slip a little bit? Whereas with Ochoa, it's the opposite. It's like, okay, he lost by a decision to Asu Almabayev, but hey, he went long. Johnson took a lot more damage to Almabayev. And then last time, I mean, he beat the absolute piss out of Clayton Carpenter. At one point was a pretty respected prospect. And then, you know, the win before that, one-shotted Cody Durden. I feel like Jose Ochoa is a promising guy on the rise. And, you know, representing Shoot the Box team with a heavy heart, training partner Alan Nascimento passing away, you know, a couple weeks ago. I'm going to say Jose Ochoa does well for his team, and I think he's able to beat Charles Johnson here. I think he's a hard stylistic matchup, good forward pressure, knockout power in his hands, and good defensive grappling. I just kind of think Johnson may have a hard time keeping Ochoa off of him with big shots. So I'm going to favor Ochoa. I'm leaning decision for him, but he does have heavy enough hands where I could see him hurting Charles Johnson in this one.
Well, Charles Johnson's gone win, loss. I guess it's time for when you saw Loner Kavanaugh versus Jose Ochoa. He was able to beat him. Well, Charles Johnson knocked that kid out, son. But that's Charles Johnson. It's what he does. It's what he does. He comes through sometimes. He's a tough guy to fade. He's so active. Bro, we just broke down the Asu Almabayev fight. He's so active. That's crazy. I was updating my results page late for a couple of those old cards. I think I just put that card in there. Jesus, bro, he just fought. I don't think Jose Ochoa is going to have a big issue with Charles Johnson here, man. I think he's going to be able to outstrike him. I think he's going to be able to control this fight. Charles Johnson should be competitive. I could see some of the rounds being close. I could see him trying to rally back sometimes. I mean, this could be fun. I like the matchmaking again, but it's almost like too quick of a turnaround for Charles Johnson. He's almost like too active, AJ. It's a red flag for me. I think some of these dudes just want to buy a house in this economy. And so I think that Jose Ochoa is going to be calculated, ready for him, put some good shots on him, and take a decision.
I was actually about to ask you. That's crazy you said it. I said, do you think Charles Johnson too active? We already seen him 3 times in 2026.
Yeah.
And this is going to be what? Is it his 5th fight in a calendar year?
That's insane if that's the
He's
case.
fighting all the time, and he's not a small flyweight. So yeah, I think Ochoa feels like the right side of it. I think that he's coming into his prime, whereas Johnson maybe slowly starting to slip. And I think Ochoa gets a little win streak going, and I feel like the damage is live from him. So our side of Ochoa feels right. As much as like I like picking Charles Johnson, but it's not been the move as often as it once was, maybe. I mean, you know, I had him versus Leonard Kavanaugh, and I had picked against him with Temerov. I was on fire. And then I was like, fuck it. We're going Johnson over Alex Perez, knocked out. All right, no momentum. All right, he's back against Bruno Silva. Bro, he's going to beat up Bruno. Scares the shit out of me. Scares the shit out of me. Almost gets finished. Yeah. And then most recently, Almabayev murdered him. So I feel like we're seeing a Charles Johnson slipping versus an Ochoa rising, and we're going to go towards Ochoa.
I think so. Did you see the odds? -420.
Take the rip.
Come on, son. Jose Ochoa at -420 is a little bit of, that's love, bro. Like that's
too big. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. Is they bait and trapping us with Charles Johnson? Listen, he's a good underdog. You can get big plus money, man. Come buy it. Yeah, I see why people jump on it.
That's funny. You think that's how they talk over there? We interviewed a bookie. We had a actual bookie. We don't have to plug the website anymore, but they used to sponsor us. And he seems like he would talk like that, right? Like, oh, we'll throw this one out there. They're gonna bite this. Charles Johnson can win any fight. He's sort of a Michael Johnson, actually. The Johnsons do this. They do this. They have this ability to make you sweat. But Jose Ochoa is the logical pick here. And I like what you said too about Charles Johnson we might have seen the best of the Charles Johnson days. And I don't think we've seen the best of the Jose Ochoa days. So he might be able to really turn a corner here. Not that he has to turn a corner. He looks good and he's already got respect. Clearly he's -420, but I do think he could look good against the Charles Johnson where he doesn't really have to worry about the takedown. He could really settle into his striking. He'll probably have a nice performance.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking about one thing with Jose Ochoa, and it's really method of victory because I'm looking at the props. It's hard to say. I mean, he's got devastating power for a flyweight. Could he catch that Johnson, chin and put him away? But
maybe.
It's like my logic says I got to lean Ochoa as method of victory call at +125, and they're not going to give you much. It's if knockout was 5-1, I'd be like, fuck it, +175 for Ochoa KO. So not necessarily worth the time. And money line's not really either. It's just one of those fights, man. But we'll pick Ochoa to win it.
Yeah, Charles Johnson only has been knocked out one time. 7 of his 8-9 losses are via decision. So he has shown durability, but Jose Ochoa is quick to the target, man. I think Jose Ochoa is going to sit him down at the very least. Yeah. I'm actually not like you, bro. I don't necessarily think like I'm an inside the distance or, I sweat when I bet inside the distance. I hate betting inside the distance. I've heard people say like, oh, I would never bet an over because I want every fight to finish. So why would I bet that? That's just not how I bet. Okay. You know how I bet? To win. I just want to win. I only want to win. That's all I care about. So I bet overs. I'm much more likely to than inside the distance. I love a good over 2.5. So yeah, I'll go Jose Ochoa, but minus 420 is a lot of love.
Yeah, agreed. Ochoa for us both. Let's get to our co-main event of the evening. Finch, man, what do you think? Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. What's the Finch man breakdown for Dern and Robertson?
I already saw this fight. I just watched it today. Her name, she has red hair. She already fought Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern armbarred her. Random Marcos. Random Marcos. Literally the exact same hair. I'm like, no freaking way. While I was doing my tape study today, watching a bunch of Mackenzie Dern fights, which is always a good time just to see Mackenzie. It's always a good time. Mackenzie Dern has found a way through her unconventional striking, to put it nicely, to be effective. Mackenzie Dern has found a way to get in there and get nasty. She trains with Jason Perillo. Jason Perillo's held pads for me a couple times. It's been nice to go over there. He does this thing where he just holds a bomb shield and just turns it over for you, and you just come in there hacking. And you could see the way she's moving her head off the center line a little bit, and she's just hacking these punches in there. And it was working against Verna Jandiroba. She just makes it happen. She comes and kicks in the door like the Kool-Aid man. What's up, motherfuckers? We in here. And she just throws, and these girls aren't able to really counter her. And is Jillian Robertson the person to counter her? I don't think so. So I'm going to give Mackenzie Dern a kickboxing advantage, maybe specifically boxing advantage. That matters. That matters to me because Jillian Robertson, I do think, is a better wrestler between the two. Now, some people are going to be like, what a better wrestler? She's not a wrestler. But Mackenzie Dern, again, look at the Verna Jandiroba fight. Her takedown defense is overrated. I know it's 30-something%, which is like pretty normal, but she doesn't sprawl very well. And a lot of times, bro, she doesn't have to. She's the type of jiu-jitsu competitor where she'll just work from butterfly guard and make shit happen. She'll be on her back and she'll cause a sweep to happen. She tried to hip bump sweep Verna Jandiroba because Verna Jandiroba kept sitting up. Something Jillian Robertson does well that I noticed Verna made a mistake with is that Verna Jandiroba sits up inside the guard. So Verna Jandiroba was leaving space between her and Mackenzie. So Mackenzie was punching her face, elbowing her, kicking her to stand back up. And Verna Jandiroba wasn't able to stay on top. That mattered. Jillian Robertson, to give her some credit, she likes to pin you. She likes to stick to you. She'll pin you on the ground. She'll work to those dominant positions and look for finishes. I even watched Jillian Robertson grapple Rose Namajunas again. Dude, she ran through Rose Namajunas in like 30 seconds in a grappling match. Just took her back and strangled her. So she's nasty on the ground, but here she is against Mackenzie Dern, AJ. I can't trust that she's going to sub Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern, very, very good gi jiu-jitsu competitor. She's competed no gi as well, but she's really been able to show great arm bars and solid finishes. What was that armbar she got where she was caught in quarter guard still? She just pinched her knees together. Like, you're never going to see Louis Sutherland pull that off. She's very high level with her jiu-jitsu. It's funny to even think about Louis Sutherland doing the splits like that. Her jiu-jitsu is very high level. I think that's a problem for Jillian Robertson. Do you see where I'm going with this? I'm going with the champ. Give me Mackenzie Dern. Jillian Robertson's a fun matchup for her. She's somebody you and I have picked on the way up. I mean, we clearly saw improvements from her previous life because there was a time when Jillian Robertson was kind of just a gatekeeper and she really made strides training with Dean Thomas. Who am I thinking of? The commentator. He does the show.
Dean.
I got that right? Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell? Dude, I fucking flew across the country. I woke up in Chicago today, guys. Give me a break. I'm going to go with Mackenzie Dern because I believe she's a better striker, and I think that's the biggest difference here. Mackenzie Dern throws her ass in those shots, and that's a decent amount of ass to throw into the shots, as to where I don't see much consequence from Robertson. She's going to need takedowns, and what is she really going to do with it? Probably get swept and armbarred. Give me Mackenzie Dern. Ooh, does she finish her? It's one thing to pick a fight. It's another thing to pick a finish. Wow. Could she submit Jillian Robertson? Is she going to TKO her? Jillian Robertson's tough. Mackenzie Dern over 5 rounds. Decision.
I'm going to go the opposite side, man. I'm going to go Jillian Robertson, bro. I think that she's got a shot here in a weird fight. It's like, yes, Mackenzie Dern offensively is better than Jillian Robertson. But I'm thinking about defensively. Robertson, I feel like she's going to be able to block that wild shit. And I can see her popping a jab on Dern. Dern's defense has never been a great asset. And yeah, Robertson is not an elite level striker, but she's kind of just meat and potatoes basics on the feet, which I think could like weirdly work a bit striking with Mackenzie Dern. And I think that the cage pressure from Robertson could be interesting. And if she gets on top, though Dern has really high level jiu-jitsu, I can see Robertson stalling from top position, pinning her down, controlling the hips, peppering some shots, maybe not doing a ton from top, but just enough to secure time and go out and win moments. It's one of those matchups where I feel like it's almost coin flip territory. Mackenzie Dern, I don't think she's reliable. Virna Jandiroba is a good stylistic matchup for her. She beat Virna Jandiroba years ago. She beat her again. But like, still, the Amanda Lemos fight, I'm watching back and I'm like, dude, it's still that same Mackenzie Dern. At times, she gets weird, she gets wild, she gets hit, get knocked out by Andrade. And yeah, I know since then she's been winning and looking pretty good. She's won 3 straight fights, but I'll be damned, man. Amanda Ribas, well past her finest hour. Lupita Godina is decent, but not one of the best in the game. I feel like it's live for a hard-fought Robertson weird decision. It's one of those fights where it's like sit back, watch, and find it all out. I think that Mackenzie Dern is unreliable. Jillian Robertson, as of late, has been pretty reliable. I'm curious to see how Robertson looks in a later stage fight. I'm curious to see how the striking matches up. I wouldn't be shocked if Robertson actually landed some shots on the feet. I definitely wouldn't be shocked if Dern got to a back and threatened with the submission, but Robertson's good at grappling, like you said, too. It's a strange matchup for me because, like, it's for the belt, but they're both not the best. I mean, Weili Zhang, 50-45s, both of them. So it's like, it's 5 rounds, but it's not a title fight in my mind. You know, it is, but I don't know. If they were fighting at the UFC Apex in a 3-rounder, you know, I feel like that would make more sense in a, you know, women's feature main event or something, but 5 rounds of work, I don't know, man. I lean Robertson to find a way. I just don't feel good about either side, to be real with you, Finch. I think both worry me. And yeah, I guess Robertson squeaks by a decision potential, but if Dern goes out and damages her a bit and bloodies the nose, could steal it one way or the other. Submission threat from Dern is live. Robertson needs a decision only. So the pathway of danger maybe favors Dern a little bit, but Robertson has been pretty good lately. And I worry about this. Robertson with the game plan to fucking make the fight a drag, like just control against the cage. You're working with Dean, bro. They'll come up with some weird shit. Cage control, pepper and shot. If she gets a takedown, she stalls. If they're striking from the outside, pops Dern with a jab, Dern rips some shots, she doesn't engage. Like, I don't know, man. I definitely don't. I'm not expecting one of the all-time great ladies fights. I'm expecting a 5-round mid, and I'll go Robertson on a weird decision.
3-round Apex fight.
That's how it feels.
Jandiroba put on a show, dog. They were going at it over 5 rounds. That was like fun to watch, dude. That was like fun to watch. I was on the airplane, all smashed in the back by the shitter, watching the fucking thing. I'm like, all right, this is. I flipped down that little thing to put my phone up on. You like my Mike Finch show?
Hey, I do like that.
Boom! I put my Mike Finch show there, and I'm watching it on the. Yeah, it was good. You know, I had to keep the air blowing on me so the smell of the bathroom didn't come out, but it was good. I think you put your finger on something, which is the damage. The damage. I hear you picking Robertson and you're going, yeah, and the fight's going to suck. But what if the fight doesn't suck? Because Mackenzie Dern has been a little more scrappy, has been a little more foot on the finger on the trigger, foot on the pedal, foot on the trigger. See where I'm going here. And she looks in great shape. She had a baby back in the day. So, I mean, she's totally recovered and like hit another level in her career now. Jason Perillo's gotten her believing in her hands, and she goes out there. I think she's going to punch Jillian Robertson in the face. I think the Jason Perillo effect is real here. And I believe that she's going to go out there and hurt Jillian Robertson. She gave Verna Jandaroba a big-ass swollen eye. Who's a better wrestler, Jillian Robertson or Verna Jandaroba? I think Verna. And Verna wasn't doing well holding her down at all. I told you why. Because she was sitting up in the guard like they're at freaking old school ADCC and there's no kicks or punches. Come on, man. People are going to get up in the UFC. But Jillian Robertson doesn't strike me as more powerful, more strong. I don't like her striking. Maybe the bread and butter will be a good thing, but give me chaos.
Respect.
Give me thick half Brazilian booty. I'm going with Mackenzie Dern, and I love my wife, by the way. Mackenzie Dern via decision, although I could, she's gonna try to hurt her. She's gonna try to get her out of there. It's tough to pick her by submission over Jillian Robertson since Jillian Robertson's very good at submission grappling. The Rose Namajunas match, her just like cutting through like a knife through butter, that was impressive. And I've also, of course, been impressed with Mackenzie Dern's grappling. So honestly, I hope we get more grappling. What do I think we'll get? I think we're going to get more kickboxing than we bargained for. And I got to favor Mackenzie Dern there, brother. Riddle me this. Just give me this. If they strike for 90% of this fight, who's going to win?
I think Robertson in the later rounds could surprise a tired Dern with a stiff jab. I do.
I got Mackenzie Dern. I think she's busting this girl up. Man, you saw the welt that Verna had?
I like Robertson striking more than Verna.
That might be fair. I don't know. I am not impressed.
I'll be honest. I understand the Dern pick. I get it. I get both sides.
By the way, I mean, you're the one on the dog.
Yeah,
so
but like either side makes sense. I think there's an argument. Dern, we'll see what she brings to the table this Saturday. Same with Robertson. And I look forward to witnessing the main event, which we're going to get to in a second here.
Absolutely. I can see why Mackenzie Dern is a beatable champion. Of course, that's the case. But this ain't Wei Lee, so I'll wait until then.
Bez, thank you for the 10. We got to run through some donos up here. Holy shit. Still think it's weird. Islam knows his cousin too well. Even more weird. Vegan Machado Zesty might be into it. Thank you for the 10, Bez. We appreciate you.
What? No comment. Next.
Comment. Hey, Trading Champ. Thank you for the $99.99. Mackenzie Dump Truck Dern shows levels here. And Mike Finch Show.com. W, bro.
Choo choo. Yo, let me show him there it is. Boom, baby. Let's go, Trading Champ. Trading Champ's been helping me run the website, helping me run the Discord. I told him, bro, I'm being at the XFO. He did a great job helping people out. Thank you, Trading Champ. We'll keep eating over there at MikeFinchShow.com. Let's go. Mackenzie Dump Truck Dern. It's true. I used to say Norma Dump Truck Dumont. I think she's got her beat in that department. But in the fighting department, I like Mackenzie Dern.
Karate Kid Madrid. Thank you for $19.99. Mackenzie throws hard on the feet because she has no fear of the takedown. She's the bigger and more athletic athlete. TKO or club and sub super live. And if Jillian wrestles, I see a sweep or sub from bottom. Dern low key mean. I think high key mean.
Low key or maybe high key. I've been peeped that you like me. I feel like that's exactly it. It's like I'm watching Verna Jandaroba. I sorry to keep talking about that fight. I just watched it. Half delirious on American Airlines. And she gives up these takedowns. She's like, all right, you want to shoot on me? Go ahead. And she's down to be down there. And you know what? She does good work from her back. I don't really see a comparison. What's her name? Pinheiro. Yeah. Luana Pinheiro is the best grappler she's fought. Amanda Lemos is a striker. Marina Rodriguez. Jesus Christ. There's like no ground game for Marina Rodriguez. That was her finish. These are the ones, the decisions. Michelle Watterson, of course, just a striker. So I feel like she's going to be like Tabitha Ricci's a decent grappler. That was Jillian Robertson's last loss back in 2023 before she turned that corner like we talked about. So I think that you're right. Even off of her back, Mackenzie Dern is live.
Respect. And do we got one more here? Yes, we do. Sherm from Jackson. Thank you for the 10. Can I interest anyone in a fake ginger 50 gifted if the highlighter loses? All right. Holy shit. He's not playing around. Sherm. He has a thing where every card, he has a pick, and he puts 50 memberships on the line for it. So far, he's undefeated, though. He's yet to have to drop the 50. He's 3-0. So, respect to him.
Let's go, Sherm. Okay, very nice. Sherm, very generous. Trading Champ, of course, extremely generous with the 100. You guys, regulars, Sherm, Trading Champ, even Karate Kid, we appreciate you guys so fucking much.
We love you, savages. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the love and support, man. Odds for this fight, of course, Dern minus 215 is the favorite. Robertson plus 185 is the dog. It's one of the matchups. You know, it is what it is. We'll see when they weigh in. Looking at the decision prop for Robertson plus 275, Dern sub plus 205. Any bet inside of this one calling your eye or catching your eye, I should say?
Dern's going to try to sub her.
Yeah.
I think Robertson's probably thinking, I'm going to grind this girl out. I think actually Robertson's team is thinking something along the lines of what you just said, which is, hey, we're going to not be chaotic. We're going to be technical. We're going to pin this girl down, and we're going to try to dominate position and not just like gun for submissions and finishes. That would be a reasonable way to fight Mackenzie Dern, who kind of thrives in the scrambles, thrives in the, as you try to pass her guard, she'll start to get into your legs and sweep you and whatnot. She hit that knee bar early on in her UFC career. Like, you don't want to just play around in her jiu-jitsu. So the more Robertson does that, the more she'll run a risk. Like if she gets, because dude, it's UFC 330. They're going to have a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of, maybe, but it's the co-main event. People are going to be, there'll be a little bit of drinking. There's going to be some Irish folks out there. Does Ian Garry have fans? Are they all off because of the cuck thing? Is he going to have some fans out there? Because the Irish go fucking crazy when they get drunk. And so if it's loud, if it's chaotic, if it gets chaotic, that favors Mackenzie Dern. AJ, another reason why I'm on Big Booty.
Skylar Cleary, thank you for $4.99. What's up, big dogs? Always good to see you, AJ. And first time I get to catch you live with Finch. Let's smack these parlays. W, Skylar Cleary, good to see you. Thank you for the $5 dono. Happy to have you live. Listen, man, enough on this co-main event. It's time to talk the main event of the evening. If you guys are enjoying this week's savage episode of the Moneyline, be sure to smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe it up. We got Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Garry for the UFC welterweight belt. And I am riding with the side of Islam Makhachev. And still, I think he's going to get this shit to the ground, man. I think Machado Garry's kickboxing is fantastic. Distance striking, elite. Even his boxing on the inside, he'll rip and he'll move the fuck out of the way. That's why he was piecing Prates up so bad. Ian Machado Garry has some high-level footwork, and his stand-up is amongst the best in the game. But Islam Makhachev's ground game is the best in the game. Team Dagestan, Team Habib grappling style. Until it's proven to be able to be stopped, I really can't believe it's stoppable. And I feel like the second fight for Makhachev at 170 is better. He's more accustomed to this weight. He knows how he feels now. Not to say he played it safe against Jack Della. It was the first time he ever fought there. He did. He stayed on top. He didn't take any crazy risks, and he dominated the position. And you know what? Jack Della being kind of shorter and stockier makes for a little bit easier submission defense of that neck. Machado Garry, tall and long. That neck is there. I could see the front headlock. I could see a Darce choke, or really a Makhachev front headlock strangle, whatever you want to call it. The Makhachev special. I could see the rear naked choke. I think Islam Makhachev is too much for Ian Garry on the ground. He sets up his takedowns well, whether it's single legs in the open mat, just using that to get Garry against the cage and then taking him down from there, or hitting those takedowns in open space. I think if he can pass the legs of Garry, striking and grappling, he can win the fight against Garry. I don't think Gary's keeping him in the guard. I think Makhachev gets to half guard and then potentially to a more dominant position. I think that Ian Garry is going to struggle with the cinder block that is Islam Makhachev's top pressure. And I'm going to predict Islam Makhachev submits Ian Garry and pulls off really the marquee win now for him, taking on a rising talent like Garry in a title defense of the welterweight belt. I really am under the impression that this may be the most dominant and best version of Islam Makhachev we had ever seen. I mean, he took no damage against the side of Jack Della into a lopsided 5-round domination. I think this is a lopsided fight that is live to end and finish. As good as Gary's striking is, I just don't believe he can stop the grappling. Can he stick and move for 25 minutes with Makhachev's entire game based upon countering that and getting him to the floor by setting traps and corralling him towards the cage? I doubt it. I'm going Makhachev sub, Finch, man. And
Islam Makhachev said about his own performance against Jack Della Maddalena, he goes, I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight. he wants to go for finishes. Have you heard what his favorite fight was? His favorite fight of his ever is Dustin Poirier. And that fight was crazy. They were bleeding all over the place. It was up, it was down. They were bashing each other. He gets the finish. That's what he likes. And if he's disappointed in the way he won the title, because he was saying, I just wanted to win the title, then he might open up a little bit here against Ian Garry, and that can make things interesting. I rewatched Ian Garry versus Bilal Muhammad, and I was very encouraged by what I saw. I saw Ian Garry adjust his stance. If you watch the way he fights Carlos Prates, he's very upright, and he's using that mobility. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. Muhammad Ali says, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ian Garry floats like a butterfly. He stings like a... What stings less than a bee? I don't know. It's a light sting. It's not
a horsefly.
A horsefly stings like a horsefly. Okay, and a horsefly is rather large for a fly, but it's still just a horsefly. He's a decision merchant. This is much different than Jack Della Maddalena. Jack Della Maddalena walks towards you. He switches stances. I liked his down blocks in other fights. He left that shit at home. He had the submission defense, which was nice. Little touch of Craig Jones in there, but he got smushed in that fight. Well, here's a totally different stylistic striker. This striker is mobile as hell. It's a big deal that they're in the big cage because Ian Garry's a tall, lanky dude who's hard to track down. You think he's in New York, but he's really in New Jersey. You just can't quite place where he's at. So you can imagine a little bit of frustration on the side of Islam Makhachev as he tries to drag him onto the ground, as he tries to get a hold of him. Ian Garry, by the way, takedown defense looks pretty damn good. Even against Shavkat Rakhmonov, his takedown defense looks very good. Brother, here's something I've heard nobody say that is very important in this fight. What's Ian Machado Garry's best kick? Front leg side kick to the knee. Ask Shavkat. He's still out. I was listening to Rampage being interviewed. I was listening to Rampage talk to John Jones a few months ago. Literally, as soon as he saw John Jones, he said, yeah, those oblique kicks, my knee still hurts. His knee still hurts. He's in his 50s. His knee still hurts. Those are horrific. Bro, I got hit with that front leg side kick. I was out, not out, but I had like knee pain for like 10 months. It's insane. Islam Makhachev is going to have to close the distance. Ian Garry can fight from a whole other range. As he does that, what's the biggest problem? Ian Garry's hands? No, the front leg side kick to the knee. It's going to be a massive deal if Islam Makhachev does not deal with that. What he needs to do is exactly what Charles Oliveira did against Justin Gaethje. You just pick the lead foot up. You just pick the foot up. I could keep storming forward. I just pick that foot up, and then there's no weight on that, and it won't lock out. If Islam Makhachev fights in his normal stance, I've been watching his stance, and I've been looking at Ian Garry, and I've been thinking, that is the best weapon for Ian Garry. Bro, he stomped. I said blow because I think he could blow that knee out. If he stomps that lead knee hard, which, by the way, AJ, this ain't Wonder Boy. You ever hear Wonder Boy interviewed on this topic? Oh, I don't want to hurt my opponents. Then you don't want to win a world title, motherfucker. We're out here fighting for your daughter's college tuition. Stomp that man's knee. What is wrong with you? You go in there to die. Ian Garry's going to fuck your career up. He's going to stomp that knee as hard as he can. Islam has to deal with that properly. Okay. With all that being said, Ian Garry's better stance against Bilal, more bent knees, Ian Garry's dangerous front leg side kick, Ian Garry's movement, Ian Garry's good takedown defense. I think it's a much, much different matchup than Jack Della. This thing could be competitive. AJ, Islam Makhachev is the best fighter in MMA history. Islam Makhachev is much better than Khabib, much better than these other fighters. Khabib is better in certain ways. Khabib is better on the ground when he's smashing you with his ground and pound, but nobody's really been able to put together the full trifecta. Islam Makhachev is the best striker, the best wrestler, and has the best submissions. And who can say anything about that? He does all three of those things to the best fighters in the world on a regular basis. The biggest enemy for him was like weight cuts. And now that's out of the way. Islam Makhachev is just too damn good. There's no way I'm picking against Islam Makhachev at 170 or at 155. I think we'd have to go up to 185 to even consider it. Islam Makhachev does something that Billy Ray Goff should take some notes on, okay? Billy Ray Goff was just hugging the hips of Ty Miller saying prayers. He chain wrestles. He'll get a hold of you, and then he'll pull your knee up really high. Hamzat Chimaev does this really well too. As soon as you pull somebody's knee up that high and they're on the balls of their feet, Islam's just going to club you. I actually teach this directly from watching Islam do this to the last guy he just fought, Jack Della Maddalena. He pulls the knee up high, he steps behind, and boom, he clubs over the top. I could see that exact takedown hitting Ian Garry. It's just, no can defend, brother. It is going to be a huge problem. I think Ian Garry is a very interesting matchup for him. I'm super excited to watch the fight, but I'm going to be in the same boat with everybody who does what we do. All of you, I haven't even seen anybody like confidently on Ian Garry. Brother, Islam Makhachev's getting on top of this dude. And when he does, I think it's going to be pissed off. I think it's going to be chip on his shoulder, Islam. I think he's going to be looking for the finish. So I believe what you said is right. I don't know if it's because of his long neck or not, but I do think Islam Makhachev via submission has to be the call.
Makhachev money line pretty wide at -335 with Garry at +270 dog status. If you like that submission win for Makhachev, it's 2-1 status. And I think it makes sense. I think Ian Garry's problem, right, is lacking that punch power. He needs to do some serious damage up top. Now, granted, the leg kick, you're right, the knee stomp for sure is live to touch, but Makhachev, I feel like he'll be ready for it.
I hope so.
I think Team Habib has got Makhachev ready for it.
I hope so. They don't have anybody who throws that kick.
True.
That's a strange kick to deal with, dude. That's a strange one to deal with. It's like you could think about what are the most badass teams in MMA history? Probably Shoot Box from Brazil. Rafael Cordeiro is their head coach. I threw a front leg side kick on Kelvin Gastelum. I told you what he did, right? He goes, because he's like, please don't hurt Kelvin. Like literally just sparring in the gym. He's like, oh my God, he's going to blow out Kelvin's knee with this stupid kick. Like this kick is so lethal. Watch the Khalil Roundtree Modestas Bukowskis shot. That's what Ian Garry is going to try to do. If Ian Garry's smart, if I'm in Ian Garry's corner, I'm telling him, bro, butterfly, put this man's leg in a coffin. I want you to put it backwards. I want you to Walter Walker his knee. That is going to be his best pathway to victory in my estimation.
I like it. I think you're onto something with that, Finch. W. Sherm, thank you for the 10. Don't lay Garry and let the little money take over if you do bet him. Thank you for the 10, Sherm from Jackson. I'm going the side of Makhachev, and Finch, man, is too. We're both going and still with Islam in the main event. Should be able to stifle the Ian Garry kickboxing and potential knee stomp from hell. Now, Finch, man, you know we got one more section that I want to get to, and I know the people are waiting. It's time for the parlays to play.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time, open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, parlay time. Islam Makhachev's going to defend the welterweight title Saturday night. Yeah, Islam Makhachev is the first leg of the parlay. You got the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and you got a guy who just 3 fights ago lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov because of the grappling sequences. I think Islam Makhachev completes these takedowns, gets the fight where he needs to. Creatine Islam for the first leg.
Islam Makhachev, fantastic first leg. And I'm going to believe in the side of Yoel Alvarez to go alongside him. Around -120 for a little money line parlay thunder. And I feel pretty good about that, Finch, man.
I do too, bro. Hey, the parlay's been on fire, y'all. The parlays have been on fire. Does Moneyline do right by you or not? So do right by Moneyline. Subscribe to the channel, to the hardest working guy in the sport over here, AJ DeVito. Make sure you guys are tuning in live all week. AJ drops content every single day. Guys, every single day. You think his girlfriend doesn't want to hang out with him every single day? She does. Instead, he hangs out with you guys every single day. Make sure you're showing him love. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. You got nothing to say. You leave a W in the comments because it helps the algorithm. And there's one more thing I would like you to do. Come check out my show right after this. AJ will leave the link in the description. I'm going to give you guys my 5 most confident picks. Like AJ said, I'm going for the Khabib record. 29 straights. Follow me to glory.
Let's go. W Finch, man. W Sherm from Jackson. Parlay time shades Finch. He's bringing him out for most confident. There he is. Oh, shit.
Get ready. We're getting ready. I'll see you guys over on the dark side. It's Mike Finch Show. Lock it in.
Hey, W to the Finch, man. Go watch the show, guys. I got it pinned up in the live chat.
Are you live tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be live for Contender Series.
AJ's live for Contender Series.
7
What do you think
Eastern.
you're doing? You're opening your phone up and you're making sure you got AJ on to walk you through Contender Series. I think that's exactly what I'll do. We usually go to Tuesday night Street Fest. We take baby girl out. You know I got to have the audio on. I'll be in there, brother.
Let's go. W to the Finch, man. W to the people. If you need Contender Series picks, I got the weigh-in recap show also linked up in the description of this video. So go watch Finch, man, and then you can come back to my channel and check out the Contender Series show. We love you, Savages. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the likes on your way out and subscribe it up. And go watch Finch's most confident as he looks to make history and really cement himself as the pound-for-pound best, most confident picker on the motherfucking planet. Mic drop. Peace, everyone.